Greetings, Internet. Callisto here with some super happy fun time BF3 tips. Alright, one of the first things you want to take into account when you're playing Battlefield 3 is how open the maps are. You're not like funneled into one area, so you want to take advantage of multiple routes. Even on a map like Metro that's fairly straightforward, there's a few different lanes and a few different routes to go. So, like right here, we're going to get into a gunfight with a group of dudes trying to attack this flag. We kill this one guy. I get suppressed. You don't want to be getting into gunfights while you're suppressed. It completely fucks your accuracy. So I'm going to let the suppression wear off, come around, flank the rest of the dudes that are still here, and shoot them in the back because they're looking at people elsewhere. So you just want to take advantage of the different lanes and being able to get behind people. Once you get a few kills, you need to push forward. The whole point is to capture flags and to preferably push them off the map because that's the easiest way to win. So you don't just like sit in one camping spot because you're getting a bunch of kills. Take advantage of the kills you get and move forward, press that front line forward, and just make life tough for the people that you're playing against. One of the most important skills you've got to learn to get good at Battlefield 3 is knowing when to iron sight and knowing when to hip fire. Now, hip fire is pretty much dog shit in BF3, so 99 point asshole of the time you're going to be aiming. So the only problem with that is that aiming isn't instant. There's like a millisecond delay between when you press your iron sight button and when it actually comes up. And when you're fighting somebody at point blank, that can get you shit on. So you have to be aware of that. And what I like to do a lot of the times is like pre-aim, like aim before I think somebody's going to come so I don't have to deal with that delay in the middle of a gunfight. You can see here that I'm rocking the KH-2002 with laser sight. I have fallen in love with the laser sight recently because I just noticed the benefit of it more than all the other attachments. Because most of the other attachments have some neg attached to them, like the silencer reduces your damage, heavy barrel fucks with your spread, and just laser sight just is a straight up improvement. It makes your hip fire better, and the hip fire is god awful, so that's what I go with. And then when you put it on a gun like the KH-2002, it makes it pretty nasty from the hip because this gun's gross from the hip already. And if you're a console player, you probably, or you should be familiar with this gun already because it has basically no recoil, and when you're trying to compensate for recoil with sticks, that shit can get pretty difficult. So if you're playing on Xbox or PS3, this is definitely a gun you're going to want to check out. And when you run out of ammo with that, all you've got left is your pistol. Now, when it comes to pistols in BF3, I think there's really only three worth mentioning. G18, which is what I'm using here, the Magnum, which is kind of a medium range, small clip pistol, and the 93R, which you get from doing a shit ton of co-op missions. Knowing what guns are good is only half of it. Then you have to actually go on to playing well with it. Now, when we have the AEK, which is what I'm using right here, it's a really good gun up close, but the spray on it kind of loses its kick at long range. So I'm going to use it here to clear out an area that's pretty close quarters, and you can see it just shits on people. You want to get headshots with it, but other than that, it's a pretty easy gun to use, good for close quarters, but again, long range, it takes a little bit longer to kill people. I mean, that last kill right there is really about the end of where you really want to be fighting people. Keeping it closer is really going to be to your advantage with this gun. Alright, that's it for this. Thanks for checking out my video. If you want more tips, you can check out my website, or you can go buy my book. If you want to get my book, it helps support the videos on my website, and it's greatly appreciated. But if you don't want to buy it, I've got plenty of free shit on there to check out. It's cool either way. I will see you guys later.